I said I was going to get this video recorded before I started work tomorrow. Since my 3-day weekend is over with. But at least I get a weekend where I actually get the weekend off. Because in retail, excuse me, you don't necessarily get, excuse me, Saturdays and Sundays off. So as I promised, I was going to do this video talking about how you can't trust the kids of the hashtag performative unions, of the, especially the non-black women. You can't trust their children. And the reason why I say this, and you can see this is a picture of who, Trashy B at her finest, and all her kids, especially these two right here. You said the picture was from Facebook, but whatever. These two right here. She's going to teach them, regardless, no matter how many Tyquariuses that do them wrong, no matter how many times Daquan probably goes upside their head. What's the old fucking saying? Knock the head between the washer and the dryer, the fucking refrigerator, and the dishwasher. Okay? No matter how many outside babies he got, no matter how many times he's cheated on her, they're going to tell her, you're still better than a black girl. You're still going to be better than a black woman. Because, like I said, these type of bitches like Retardy B, they teach their daughters this type of rhetoric. That's why I hate when motherfuckers always feel sorry for them. And I'm like, no, because the apple doesn't fall too far from the fucking tree. I'll tell you a quick story. I'm going to say this is a little story time. Back in 1997, when I was a sophomore, when I used to live in Northern California, my parents moved to Northern California because of my father's job opportunities. He used to work for a company that had to deal with computers, and then he came to do pretty much aerospace technology, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And so I was a sophomore, like I said, in the latter part of 1997. And I remember we were practicing for choir. Once upon a time when my voice used to actually be good before it got all screwed up. And so we were practicing for the solo spots. There was 3 fucking solo spots for the winter recital. And I remember there was a girl that kind of looked like the skin color of, well, not really so much her. She was more lighter, a little bit more towards Cardi shade. And she was a very colorist bitch. I'm just being honest. She was just very fucking colorist. Everything that came out of her mouth, it was always about how she never liked dark skin or black girls in general, or just in general. And I remember there was this dark-skinned black girl who had a voice that was it was angelic. It was like, I would say, if I had to use a fucking analogy, I would say she would be, I don't want to say Jennifer Hudson, but Jennifer Hudson's a pretty good singer. I wouldn't say Beyonce, but she basically had the capable range of, there used to be a girl named Nicole Ray back in the 90s. She used to, do songs with Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott, you would be rapping in her songs and shit like that. For the range from Nicole Ray to, I was going to say Amari. That's what her range was. And I remember when it was a Friday, and it was around, I think it was right before, because we had our class, like fucking, was it 5th period? So 5th period, because our classes in high school, we used to have from 1st to 6th period. And of course, obviously, 1st period was homeroom. I don't know how they do high school now. When I went with my daughters, well, especially with my youngest, even though she's 18, now they only do 4 They only do 4 periods now. Now I was like, okay, that's weird. But anyway, getting beside the point here. Excuse me. She was she was mad because when our choir teacher, which was a white man, announced the 3 people that were getting the solos, I was one of them, so I was surprised I even got it. But she was the last person that ended up getting the spot for the solos. And I remember this chick fucking flew off the handle, and she marched right up to the teacher's piano, the choir teacher's piano, with him writing down who was going to sing the solos. She said out loud in front of not only just the choir members but the band, because where we were at, because our school was being new. I wouldn't say it was poor, but back where we're at, the school was still developing. So some of the classes were in portables. Now, if you drive by the school that I'm at, if I was to go back to California, it's built. It has apparently 2 Olympic-sized pools, a basketball court, baseball field, obviously a football field. When all we really ever had before, when the school was still being built, was a damn football field. But I remember she said point blank in front of the choir and band that nobody was going to see a dark-skinned girl sing. They would, as a matter of fact, they would get up and fucking leave because a dark-skinned girl was singing. And I remember looking at her and like all the other black girls that were in the choir and band, like, we're gonna jump this bitch after we get out of class. That's how we were, But the white guy, of course, he didn't say nothing because either he didn't know or he didn't care, and I'm gonna go with the latter. I didn't think he fucking cared. And see, this is why. And she came from a product of a hashtag performative union. She had a non-black mom, and she had a black father who was like fucking Retardy B's ex-husband, Upset, constantly coming in and out of their lives like a fucking department door, a revolving department door at Macy's. And I just remember how, even though her mother would teach her, no matter how fucking mistreated you get, you will always be better than a black girl. She would always tell her that shit. Even though I remember there was one particular time, this was a week prior to our winter recital, that she was getting lunch in the lunch line, and her neighbor loved chocolate milk. He couldn't go. He acted like he couldn't fucking live without chocolate milk. Like he would die if he didn't have chocolate milk for one fucking day, right? So she was trying to get chocolate milk for her Kang, and this other girl cut in front of her in the lunch line, took the last chocolate milk. So she figured, oh, well, I'll just go get him some white milk. Who cares? It's milk, right? Wrong. When she sat down, because I remember I was by the vending machines, that was back then when we could have vending machines in the high schools. She was sitting down next to her neighbor. I was by the vending machines with my friends. All of a sudden I hear him, he goes, "What the fuck is this? You know I don't want white milk. I asked for chocolate milk." She was trying to explain that somebody cut in front of her and took the chocolate milk. Before she even got to say anything else, he took that fucking white milk carton and smashed it on her head and stormed out of the fucking cafeteria. And immediately, everybody in the cafeteria, which was a lot of people, there was a lot of people, a lot of kids there, from freshmen to seniors. And they started laughing at her ass, including myself, because she deserved what the fuck she got. And of course, she started crying, and you could see the milk drizzle down her head along with her mascara and her eyeshadow and tears. So it was just like milk mixed with makeup and fucking tears until she just ran to the bathroom, to the girls' bathroom, because the cafeteria we were at in our school, they had bathrooms attached to the cafeteria. And I just remember, even when she got embarrassed like that, she still had her colorist attitude and she still was rude to fucking black girls. And that's what I'm saying. No, you can't trust these kids. I don't give a fuck if they have part black in them. You cannot trust them because their mothers teach them, even though they teach them wrong, that they will never, ever, ever be that they will always be better than a black girl or a black woman. This is why you can't feel sorry for them. You can't feel sorry for them. You can't feel sorry for their moms, because I guarantee if you don't think this bitch right here isn't teaching her two daughters to teach them to hate black girls and black women, then you're fucking delusional. I don't want to hear it. Well, oh, Allie, they're just children. Okay, and children grow up to be fucking adults. You don't think she ain't teaching them that shit, and she's setting her daughters up for failure? I can guarantee it. You don't think those kids, especially Culture, I guess this is Culture, the older one right here, right? You don't think she don't fucking see that her mom gets played? Niggas jumping in and out of her like a fucking county fair ride, a cheap county fair ride. She sees it. She sees it. She knows it. But of course, her mother's always going to tell her, just like that fucking song that song from the musical South Pacific. You got to be taught to fear and hate. You got to be taught in your little ear. She's going to teach her daughters to hate black girls and black women. And that's why when shit like that happens, like the story I just talked about back when I was a sophomore in 1997, the latter part of 1997. When I say the latter part, I mean from fucking August to December of 1997. Okay? That's what it reminds me of. That's why I don't want to hear anybody fucking telling me, oh, be nice to the children, or how dare you sit up there and put this on children. No, because these children, as I said before, they all fucking grow up to be adults, and they're all going to have, especially these two, are going to have the mindset of this loser bitch right here. And it ain't going to matter. It's not going to matter. They're going to put up with it. They're going to put up with the cheatings. They're going to put up with the beatings. They're going to put up with the mistreatment and the embarrassment. Because in their mind, they think that they're better. I just want black women to think about that before they start showing any kind of solidarity or any kind of allegiance to a girl, to a woman who wouldn't even spit on you if you were on fire. She's teaching her daughters this, and you can't fucking tell me otherwise.